Alright, welcome back to the second half of this Paladin arena run. In the first half I picked up my first 5 wins without dropping any games. Hopefully I can continue that momentum forward after a brief break on my part. But once you get to these higher win numbers, 5 wins, you start to face opponents who are good at drafting nice decks and they also know how to play them. So from here on out, I mean, obviously I'd be disappointed if I lost 3 games in a row, but this is kind of the point where my opponents really do stand a good chance of giving me those losses and putting a tragic end to my arena run. But not going to be all doom and gloom. My deck is still pretty consistent. Some 1-drops and 2-drops. That's the most important thing I find, is you want a deck that consistently gets good early game pressure with a half-decent turn 1 and turn 2 play. So to that end, I will, well, I don't really like Urgent Protector. I'm going to keep him. He's fantastic if I get a 1-drop in these next 3 cards. These 2 here plus the 1 I'll draw. But if I don't, he's kind of meh. So Murloc Raider, not bad. The mage can of course just use her hero power to kill it. But even though she can do that, I'm still going to pop him out. If she does something else instead, then it really makes it so that she can't do anything else. She just kind of has to do that instead of putting something on the board herself. You know what? I think I'm just going to pop the recruit out here. I thought about dropping the Urgent Protector onto the empty board. That wastes his Divine Shield. I could have coined into the Iron for Grizzly, but that leaves me without anything really good to do next turn. I definitely had some options there. She could hero power me again? Oh, the Mad Bomber. That's a good play for her. Is he gonna get my recruit? Yeah, but he also does 2 damage to her. So things not going too well for me so far. The mage hero power was really good against my line of play. If it had been a class that couldn't nuke my guys, then I would have done a lot better. So far I've kind of wasted 1 card to her. She's gained 1 card advantage on me. And she's starting to develop some board advantage as well. Yeah, she is in a pretty good spot. I may just play my Spellbreaker out here, which is not the best use of the Spellbreaker, but at least it can silent. No, I take it all back. I'll play the Chill with Yeti instead. And see what she does in response to that. I'm not entirely sure when I'm going to use my coin here. I mean, I could next turn coin out the Sunwalker, or if I waited 1 more turn on turn 6, I could coin out the War Golem. Or on turn 7, I could coin out the Gruul. I think I'm leaning towards, well, I really don't know. It obviously depends a lot on what I draw. I have options going forward. Looks like he's not going to trade with my Yeti. I may just actually coin out the Urgent Protector and the Spellbreaker here, perhaps. That's what I will do. I'm taking a lot of damage. I'm gonna coin out. Well, maybe this wasn't such a good play because that 5/5 is actually kind of a problem for me. But oh well. So I get my guy Divine Shield. I can't silence the stealth guy, so I'll just silence the Leopardone, and then I'll knock out his Mad Bomber. Not in a great spot just because I'm really low. He may just go to the face if he's got some fireballs in hand, and if he doesn't, he may just knock out my Yeti with his Tiger. But next turn I'm going to throw up a Taunt guy, which might help me stabilize, and I've got pretty good turn 6, 7, and 8 plays. The problem is just that I've fallen pretty far behind. Now she's going to start getting some card advantage from her Acolyte of Pain. He's deciding what he wants to do. Sabotage decision. Oh, he's going to the face, being very aggressive. That would be that'd be a poor play if I had drawn some sort of way to buff up my Chillwind Yeti. But with no way to buff up my Chillwind Yeti, I really can't trade with his Tiger. I'm going to knock out this guy just so he doesn't get even more cards off of it. And after that, I'm just thinking, actually I might want to do it with, I'm going to No, that was a bad play, just in case he has... If he's at Flame Strike, that was a bad idea. But if he doesn't have Flame Strike, it was a good idea. I think if I had a do-over, I'd take it back, because that's a Flame Strike here, and I just lose my Yeti really high. And then my Divine Shield gets popped, and he runs the Tiger into the taunt, and I'm in a really poor spot. Yeah, that was a misplay for me. Just getting warmed up here, kind of first game of the day thing. So I have to run my Sunwalker into his Tiger, because if not, he can just use his hero power on it to kill it. Normally if I have a guy with taunt, I don't just trade away like that, but when he can just get hero powered, I'll absolutely go for the trade. Well, I've kind of got the slight board advantage now, because I'm a turn ahead in rebuilding the board. Let's see if he's got a polymorph here for me. So I'm about to play a Gruul next turn, so if he has a polymorph and uses it on my war goal now, that'd actually be pretty good. This guy's kind of like the distraction threat. Hopefully whatever he should use on the Gruul, he uses against this guy instead. I still have some, the rest of my cards are pretty mediocre though. These are not the sort of late game plays that you want. I suppose Bloodsail Raider's not that poor if I manage to draw my True Silver Champion. She's pretty good value. Oh, he's starting to finish me off. Oh boy. The clock is ticking. I don't have a lot of life gain in this deck. Pretty much any more direct damage will spell the end of me. Light's Justice, not really what I wanted to see here. Just gonna have to knock that guy out. I'm pretty sure I'm too low here. Any sort of direct damage, or even guys with charge, just finishes me off at this point. I would have been in a bit of a better spot if I hadn't hurt my Yeti, but I might still come out with the win here. I mean, uh-oh, 4 damage, none to me, none to me, none to me, 1 to me, 2 to me, 2 health. This is getting dangerous. Alright, so first I'm going to play the Novish Engineer, see what I draw from it. Might change my future plays. So I got 7 mana, which is enough to do pretty much everything I would want to do here. I need to trade some minions away. Can't let him have anything on the board. I may as well play this guy. And this guy. I'm just gonna play this lady now. Not gonna hope for the... I'm gonna be, you know what, I'm going full throttle. Oh shoot, I meant to attack with my hero as well there. Not a huge deal. Because I'm still quite dead if I don't draw some health gain. And I don't even have lethal. Let's see, 16, 18, 21, 22, 24, 25, 26. It could have been 20. Oh, I actually do have lethal. And it should be 1 more damage too. But no, I won't have lethal obviously because he's going to kill my guy. That puts me behind a fair bit. But actually him doing that means that he's 1 more turn away from killing me. Now he can't kill me his next turn without doing some stuff. It's a close game. Oh, stealth, that's a big problem. I'm just dead if I don't draw a taunt. Well, that's taunt alright, and will my... so I don't want to play him here. Alright, I have to do some counting. 8, 10, 12, 15, 16, 18, 19, 21. I do not, I don't have lethal, but I do have a couple taunt guys. And so I think I'm going to maybe put it here. Yeah, I'm gonna throw it over here. Actually, I'm gonna trade away this guy, just get rid of him. So I could have done a total of 4 more damage to my opponent. 3 more from not trading, and one more from hitting him the previous turn. So I could have had my opponent down at 2 life. And I could have saved my Yeti and not have him eaten the Flame Strike. So this game, I think, definitely would have been winnable if I had not done that Yeti thing. I may still win anyway, though. Got a couple guys with taunt. I probably should have given my Divine Shield guy taunt, actually, just because it makes it harder for him to kick the bucket. Oh, I think I might have my opponent. He's in... I think he's just dead. Yeah. Gets me down to the 1 life. Oh, what a down to the wire match. This was a pretty good game, I think. So I just have to do 5 damage to this guy to knock him out. That shouldn't be too hard. I'll do my Leper Gnome and my 3 power dude. Okay, well played. So there's 3 damage. Here's 2 more damage. And here's 10 more damage. That was a good game, very close though. You can see I'm getting to the point where I really have to start working for my wins. Down to the wire on that one. I picked up some quests too. The Meek shall inherit. Working on that. Yeah, it's rough to I do have a pretty good early game with my Leper Gnomes. Alrighty, beginning game number 6. Bit of late between my games here. This is Christmas break. I've been doing some other stuff, been a bit busy. I'm starting up game 6 now, continuing the run. This will be a challenging one. If I can, I don't know if I'll ever manage to go 12-0, that'd be quite the accomplishment. But I'm halfway there right now. But the thing is, halfway there isn't really halfway there because we fight harder and harder people. I'm probably realistically only like a third of the way there or something like that. But as long as I can get my turn 1 play, my turn 2 play, and transition is sort of some good mid-game board control, I think I can go pretty far with this deck. Let's see who I get. Oh look, a worthy opponent. How shocking. At first I thought that reel would actually pick random different things. It took me a while to figure out it was just a troll reel. Not that long, obviously. This is a pretty good opening hand. I'm obviously going to mulligan away the War Golem. We got a 1-drop, got a 2-drop. The 1-drop's not the best 1-drop, but the 2-drop I really like. So I said this before, and I'll say it again. I'll keep saying it, but obviously the mage can just... Well, I guess I'm turn 1, so she can obviously coin Fireball my Murloc, but that gets me pretty far ahead in tempo. I'm more than willing to sacrifice that 1 card advantage for that tempo gain. Her playing a 2-3 is a bit better for her, because he can trade my guy and still stick around on the board. That's pretty good for her. It's much better than Fireballing would have been, because they both remove my card, but Fireball leaves her with nothing on board, and this leaves her with a 2-1 on board, so it does a lot more to get her board control. If she hadn't done that, and if she had instead just Fireball my guy, she would have been in some trouble. He might actually choose to run into my Amani Berserker and Fireball instead, though. He thinks that the Berserker is a greater threat. He may be correct. And here I probably just trade with his Crocolisk, just because I don't want him to Fireball my guy for free at this point. Nah, I don't want that. So you can see that I've got 4 cards essentially, and she's got 6, so she's held on to her 2-card advantage that she gets from going second. And we both have our turn 1 and 2 plays cancelled. Let's see. I could do a few different things here. I could run into that guy with the Light's Justice. Yeah, I think that's what I'm going to do. Gonna run into him, and I'm going to summon this. I'm going to summon a Recruit. I'm not going to trade with. This is one of the situations where I almost would never trade. When you've got a minion with taunt, that'll almost certainly trade with his. There's really no reason for me to attack him, because he just pretty much has to attack me. I don't see him getting around my guy with taunt. See how we have it. Nice easy 3-free damage for me. If I choose and go to the face, I'll probably freeze the water elemental. Don't want to start getting frozen, that's just kind of annoying. Yeah, that's really annoying. But at the same time, I almost want to play the Inventor just to draw the card off of it a turn earlier. I like drawing cards. I'm not going to hesitate to go to the face with the my 1 damage hammer. The odds of wanting to use that on minions are pretty small. Most of the time I'll probably end up using 3 of the charges on him and then 1 on a minion. Let's see, I guess I probably want to drop the wolf down, pop my shield on this guy, then go to the face. Pop this guy, hope we draw a good card. The Bloodsail Raider, and I still will have 1 last charge for my hammer to buff her up. I didn't really think that would ever be something that would happen, but I guess it is. Slight value. I don't understand why. So this is the whole. This game's got really buggy board control. It's like the direwolf says adjacent minions have +1 attack, but the game thinks that this guy's next to the wolf, but it's showing the other guy as being next to him. It's a bit confusing. So he's beginning to buff up his berserker to dangerous levels. And now I kind of have to trade with it or to remove it, otherwise it's gonna start hurting me a whole lot. Let's see. If I run this guy in, and I run this guy, and I run this guy in, takes all 3 of my guys. I don't really want to trade with it that badly. I'd almost rather just get the damage in myself. You know what, I really don't want to do it. I'm going to trade with this guy, though, and I'm going to play some Leper Gnomes, Bloodsail. I don't know, it's probably a bit greedy not trading with this. Maybe I'll take it all back. Maybe I will trade after all. Yeah, I will trade after all. Assuming this thing works properly. Yeah, it looks like it'll work properly. It would have been a bit greedy to not trade there, but it's a pretty bad trade, really. I'm going to keep the last charge on my hammer. The reason I ultimately decided to make the trade was because I'm against a mage, and they've got a lot of direct damage they can finish me off with. That's what I was really worrying about. He's got the Flame Strike, that's okay. I usually when I play against mage, I kind of plan to get Flame Strike like that. I don't really bother playing around it, I just kind of let it happen most of the time. I could have been a bit more conservative, but I find that you really just can't be conservative. If you end up trying to be conservative, you just hold too much back and give them board control anyways. I mean, to some extent. I don't walk right into it completely, but the thing about Flame Strike is if you force them to use it that when they've got no board presence, then if both boards get cleared but you're the first one re-establishing your board, often you come back out ahead. So we had a Fireball, so I'm pretty glad I didn't let him keep smacking me with that Berserker, but he's built up quite a bit of card advantage. I have a pretty hard time fighting back here. I do have a Blessing of Kings. I think I'm going to use it on the guy that can attack right away, just to get that extra damage in. And I'm still not going to go to the face with my hammer. I'm holding that one back. If I draw a true silver champion, I might regret holding it back, but odds are there will eventually be something I want to do 1 damage to, like that owl. That owl's a prime target. So he silences my Blessing of Kings off, gets some good value there, and then with that commander and his hero power, he just got quite a bit of value on me. I got a questing adventure, but that doesn't do a whole lot for me. So I'm actually going to trade away my entire board here, which is a bit unfortunate. He's really been building up some card advantage. Questing adventure on an empty board is not really a strong play. I mean, I might draw 1 card next turn that I can play, make it a 3/3, but odds are he's going to have some strong plays here. He's probably going to establish board control right here. I'm not going to be able to take it back. It's my anticipation. You can see it happening. The Urgent Commander, he's got 4 cards in hand. There's really not much I can do, except lose the game very slowly. I don't really have any direct damage in my decks. Any kind of like reach, like the spells that you can do to finish off your opponent, even without a board. I don't have anything like that. He's just gonna trade away with me, nuke my stuff. That that stealth guy will probably end up hitting me twice. Oh no, I get a divine shield. Somewhat help me delay this out. And the bad news is sometimes when in these positions I look at our decks to see who has more cards in deck, because sometimes you can just make the other person run out. Usually it's not so much the fatigue damage that kills them, but just the fact that they're not drawing any more cards and you stall her out. He's got another polymorph. That's one of the better ways to neutralize that Sunwalker. She can be pretty annoying sometimes, but not this game. Looks like this guy's got my number. His him coining into the crocodile was pretty huge for him. I'm just going to trade with this guy. He actually decided not to attack me with his stealth guy, which was a bit of a strange choice. Since I'm in top deck mode, I really don't know why he wouldn't have done that. I guess he's just saving it for the sure kill, but I don't see why he wouldn't want to do 7 damage. I mean, if I got things like Molten Giants, then it's bad to do that. He's had quite a few fireballs. Give him the well played. I don't think I'm too late. No, I got it in. So I don't think I made too many misplays that one, none that strike me off the top of my head. Usually whenever I do look at these recordings, go back and rewatch them, I think of 1 or 2 things I probably would have done differently, but trading with the 2/7 that gets stronger and takes damage, I would do that again. I may have done it I could have maybe not traded with the 3/2 Shattered Sun Cleric he had that same turn. I maybe could have left that on the board. His deck was pretty good. He has fireballs out. The big thing was like the Crocolisk, coining into the Crocolisk. If he hadn't done that, then he would have really been running. And not only that, but he had a lot of single target removal polymorphs for my stuff. I think he polymorphed my Gruul, my War Golem, and my 4/5 Taunt Divine Shield guy. He pretty much had a polymorph for all my top end stuff, which is really good. I'm gonna keep the Bloodsail Raider, 2/3 for 2 mana. Even it's a good, like just like I said last game. The main reason I made fun it was because he had that 2/3. It's a really strong play for him that game. This game is probably not going to be as strong for me. 2/3 against a Warlock. Not a lot it'll do for me, and I don't draw 1 drop. So pretty weak start. But we'll see what he's got. Hopefully he doesn't have a Voidwalker or a Flame Imp. If he's either of those things, then I'm definitely playing from behind this game. Go load up the Catapult. So he does have the Voidwalker. That's I don't fear that as much as I would have feared the 3/2, but still it kind of sucks because if I had a 3/2, which is kind of the more common monster you play on turn 2, there's a whole bunch of 3/2s. You'd much rather have a 3/2 against a Voidwalker than a 2/3. A 2/3 is good against a lot of things, but a 1/3 is not one of them. Oh, now he's playing the Murloc Scout. Nice, nice. He's definitely getting some aggressive. No, and my best play is just to hero power and run into his guy. It's pretty bad. This board isn't that deadly yet. He can kill my board and keep this 1/1 taunt alive if he really wants to. If I was him, I might just go aggressive, go to the face. Actually, I would probably trade this guy into this guy just to get rid of the 2/2 after trading up, and then send the other guys into the face. I probably shouldn't mouse over the right cards for him to trade, just because it kind of gives him ideas. Oh, and he even Divine. That makes it an even better line of play, because he can do another good trade. He's kicking my butt. I'm going to play the Value Yeti. Hopefully it's strong enough to claw me back a little bit. Start a 2-for-1 up. But I'm pretty far behind. My lack of good plays, especially turn 3 when I just use my hero power, killer for me. So he trades Shadow Bolt, I guess, for my guy. It's not too bad, could be worse. I don't really want to use my Spellbreaker here. I could use my Taunt guy, or I could play the 2/4. I might just play the Taunt guy and the hero. I have to think about this one, because I've got a lot of plays. The Gnomish Inventor, Leper Gnome. The problem with playing Leper Gnome is the 3/3 will just trade with it. And then I don't have a whole lot of board. The 3/3, I kind of like. Yeah, I'm just going to do this play. In really long games, it's good to be as greedy as you can with your hero power. But usually in shorter to mid-range games, the problem is the immediate advantage you get is not very much. Using your hero power to get a 1/1. In the short term, it would have been better to just play a card. But in the long term, it's good to get that extra mini now. Him running into my guy was probably not a good play for him. I'm not too sure about that one. So he's got the Acolyte of Pain, which is pretty annoying. I can silence it though, which I'll probably do. I don't want him to draw free cards. And I don't really want to play the 1/1 here because he can just trade with it. So I guess I'll play the Wild Pyromancer. I'm doing okay now. I've gotten some value. Him Shadow Bolting to kill my value, yet he got a lot of value. It didn't look like it did, but he Shadow Bolted, which he had to use a discard to use. And it even still got one of his minions off the board. And he's really being really aggressive here and kind of trading with me more than he has to. Oh, he gets a good youthful Brewmaster off to get that guy back to his hand. I would have killed it when I had the chance while it was silenced, but my board was just empty. I couldn't. And he gets annoying little Blood Imp out. But, so I got some choices here. I was just going to play the War Golem, but now I might choose Silver Champion instead. It's kind of awkward, but I think I'm going to do it. Choose Silver Champion, that guy away. Then I'm going to play the Leper Gnome and the Recruit. Maybe not the right play. Might have been better just to drop the War Golem. But it's risky when you invest all your mana in a single creature, because if he's got a removal for it, it really sucks, because then you're left with nothing. This way, it's much harder for me to be left with nothing. I mean, already I've done something once you Silver Champion took out an Acolyte of Pain, which give him a card, but there wasn't a lot I could do about that. It's got another Blood Imp. That's getting annoying. I don't have any, do I have any Consecrates in this deck? I forget. I don't think I do, if memory serves. And now he's even got a Sea Giant, which is going to be a problem for me. A big problem, to be frank. Interesting. He hits me with one of his Blood Imps, which means I could finish it off with my weapon if I want. I also got the Argent Commander. Decisions. The Commander, unfortunately, because of the two Blood Imps, I can't run a Rage into the Sea Giant to trade with it. I might just run it into the Brewmaster and use my weapon on the other one. It's not a very good play. I think that's what I'm going to do, though. Run that into that. Finish off this stupid guy. In terms of card advantage, I'm doing okay, but I'm down quite a bit on board. If he runs this into that, I can use Blessing of Kings on the 1/1 to trade with that. The Sea Giant, get it off the board. That's not really the best trade in the world. See if he trades my 1/1. No, he doesn't, so I can Kings it and run it into his guy, which is a bit of value, but I'm down to 15 life and I'm about to take a bunch of damage. And I don't have really, I can't even kill his guy. So I might almost really want, I'm not going to save the Murloc Reader to play with Questing Adventure. I really need to establish as much as I can on the board, but really I'm in a lot of danger of just dying, because he's got an 8/9 on the board, and I only have this much and 15 life. He can just go for the kill here, I think. Oh, and he's even got a board sweeper. Oh, he's playing it really safe and trading. I guess that's okay. I don't really have any bully to board sweep. This Sea Giant that he played for cheap is really kicking my butt. So I guess I'll just drop the Questing Adventure and the War Golem. For all the good it won't do me. This looks like the end of my arena run is coming. That's okay. It's been a pretty good run. And I've still got one more game after this. I'm just getting depressed here. He's got the Blood Imp plus Imp Master synergy going on. Now he's starting to get his Warlock card drawn. Oy vey. I thought I was in a good position this game, but then he really took it away from me when he started playing the Blood Imps, and man. My biggest choice play was turn 7. I could have just dropped the War Golem. Instead, I did some other stuff. I think that might have been a mistake. It may have been better just to drop the War Golem. The good news is he still isn't trying to close this one out. I think if he had been a bit more aggressive, he would have been able to kill me earlier. Instead, he's killing me later, which gives me some time to try and come back in this, but I'm not exactly sure how I can do that. I don't really have the cards I need. I can buff my guy up a bit and go to the face. That's not really going to accomplish anything, I suppose. At least it can trade with the Sea Giant and live if I do that. But instead, I can just play the Cult Master and draw a card off of him, which I think I'd almost rather do. I'm just going to draw my card and then probably buff up the Cult Master and play a minion. Could be worse. If I manage to get Gruul on the table and he somehow survives, he could claw me back into this game. But I'm still pretty skeptical. He can trade away with my Cult Master, but it'll take him a lot of his board to do so. I like that play a lot more than... Oh my gosh, he's got another Sea Giant. Shoot. That Sea Giant will be able to trade with Gruul, even if I play Gruul. Gruul will become an 8/8, and then the Sea Giant can just kill it. Oh, he's even got a Siphon Soul to get rid of my pumped up Cult Master. Now he's got Lethal, and there is absolutely nothing I can do about it. Obviously, I could have played cards there. Some people just concede, but a lot of the time I like to just let my opponent kill me. That's just because a lot of the time when I'm playing and my opponent just concedes, I feel a bit, I don't know, cheated. I like to, I as a player, when I get the win, I like to actually kill my opponent, so I do give my opponents that chance. Sometimes I'll play the cards in my hand just to show them what I had, but sometimes I won't. That time I didn't. It wasn't really relevant. I had a Gruul. He didn't need to know that. It really didn't matter. So this my glory 12-0 run not gonna happen. I've never even gotten that close to 12-0. I think I've been more than 6 now. I think 8-0 is the farthest I've gone before dropping my first game. All right, let's see if I can shrug off this losing streak. The Iron for Grizzly is a good 3-drop, but I almost want to be greedy and mulligan it anyway. But the problem is I don't have a lot of good 3-drops, so I'm gonna keep it just because really the chances. Oh, that's not what I wanted to see. This is danger. Like, I really want the 1 and 2 drops, but the problem is I also I really don't have any 3 drops in the deck, so if I mulligan this guy away, there was a pretty good chance I wouldn't get anything on turn 3. As it happens, I end up drawing Tauren Warrior, one of my slightly not as good turn 3 plays. The odds of me winning this game are really low. No turn 1 play followed by a recruit turn 2. I mean, unless my opponent kind of has bad cards himself, then it's not going to end well for me. That's a pretty strange play from him, pointing at that guy. I'm very worried about the Shattered Sun Cleric play from him right now. It won't be that terrible because I do have a 1-1 on board. I can at least finish off his 4. It'd be a 4-1 with my 1-1 if he does have that Shattered Sun Cleric play. But no, it looks like he's going for the straight up trade off. I mean, he's got a pretty slow start, but the thing is, even with a slow start, I think his late game is probably better than mine. And a couple options here. I can play the Tauren Warrior, I can play the Defender of Argus, or I can play True Silver Champion, or I can just Hero Power. I'm going to play the Tauren Warrior. Honestly, none of them are very good plays. But the thing about True Silver Champion and Defender of Argus is they both those are plays you usually want to make when they do something right then for that immediate board impact. Oh, 1/7 Tom. That's actually a really bad card. If he's got cards that bad in his deck, I might have a chance after all. No really good play here either. I could Let's see. If I play the defender, I guess I can start running into this taunt guy if I really wanted to. It's probably my best bet. If I play the true silver champion, I can just kill this taunt guy. It would cost me one of my dudes though. Um, since it does just straight up kill his dude, that's what I'm gonna do. When a priest plays that card, I'm a bit worried about um, his ways to buff it. I think it's inner fire that gives it attack equal to its defense, and there's one that can double its defense. Stuff like that. I just want to clear his board away before I have to worry about that. I have to start worrying about Holy Nova. 1-2 taunt, another pretty poor card. He's really not impressing me. He's got the Shadow or Death. That's okay. If he doesn't have any more of them, then I'm really happy that he kind of threw it away on such a low value card for me. I think I've been in similar positions to this before. I could play the Sunwalker, but I don't really need the taunt right now. I'd rather get a Yeti and a recruit out. I am going to run into his guy. This is kind of a waste of the true silver champion, to be honest, but I'm going to do it anyways. Keep his board out. Next turn, I'm going to start playing the big guns. I've got most of my top end right here. This is actually pretty much all of my top end good cards in my hand right here. Kind of annoying that he played that. I guess I was going to play the Stormwind Champion, but I guess if he plays that, I'm just going to drop the War Golem and run into the face. Yeah, I'm not sure how much priests draft mind control these days now that it costs so much, but well, he's got a big game hunter. That's interesting. Oh, the heal. I forgot that he could heal his dude out. That's kind of annoying. Now I can't finish this guy off anymore. Let's see. I got a few choices here. His 4-2, I could trade with it by buffing my guy up in a couple different ways. I think I might do that. I would like to kill his 5-3, but I just can't at this point. I could also think about the questing adventure, but I'm not going to. I'm just going to play the Gnomish Engineer, see what I draw. Oh, Blessing of Kings, that's kind of interesting. I'm not going to play it though, it doesn't really do a ton for me. I kind of like to stick with my original plan of dropping this guy, trading away with that. If I can keep minions on board, then whenever I do get around to playing this guy, he'll be a big power swing right when I play him. So if you got 3 minions on board when you play him, he really does affect the game quite a bit. Right then, boom. I'm in danger of getting Holy Nova'd. If he had one, he'd be tempted to play it. Oh, Shadow Madness, that's really good for him too. Not terrible, because he doesn't... My guy's gonna live still, so I'll get him back. Hopefully. Unless he gets silenced. He could silence it off, I think. Which is tragic. But I'm definitely pretty behind on board control here. So we got 2 Blessings of Kings. Questing Adventurer. I might play the Questing Adventurer and then my Taunt guy. And, well, no, that's kind of awkward. And trade with his... Really? Is that what I'm going to do? Questing Adventurer, play the Sunwalker, and trade with this guy, and then I've got a Divine Shield guy up for defense. I think that's actually what I'm going to do. I'm going to go all in on the Questing Adventure here. Questing Adventure, Sunwalker, and make this terrible trade. Normally I wouldn't make a trade like this, but I'm doing it just to protect my Questing Adventure, because otherwise he could run the 1-1 into my Divine Shield. The Shadow Word Pain with 3 less. I couldn't get it up to 4. Rubbish, I say, rubbish. And now he's gonna pop. This worked out terribly. I hope this hits me. I hope this hits me. Yes, thank God for small miracles. At least something went right. Alright, so the good news here is that I've got a big dumb guy with Divine Shield. I'm not sure how I want to use him. I might just play the Stormwind Champion and run it into the 5-5. I think that's what I'm going to do. Yeah. I could Kings it up, but I don't really want to Kings it up until I kind of have to. This is kind of my most cost efficient way of doing stuff. I'm actually not doing much at all. My board's pretty good now. I got a couple Blessings of Kings in hand to use on the littler guys. Probably I prefer to buff the small minions. He's mind controlling me. That's, that happens. Kind of especially sucks because now he can kill my taunt guy and draw some cards off, but he will lose. I still have enough power to kill his acolyte, so that's okay. It could be worse. Let's see. I could just play Gruul here. That's probably the play. But I could also have. No, I might just. Yeah, actually, I'm gonna Kings this guy. I take it all back. Then I'm gonna Divine Shield. Whoops, my minions just swapped around there. Divine Shield him. I'm actually even gonna Kings the other guy. and run them both in. Not sure how many more mind controls he's got, but the Gruul is. I played it. I really like Gruul. I'm not sure why I didn't play it until the very, very kind of end. He doesn't really have anything good to run that guy into. Okay, now it's got 6 attack. He does have something good to run to, but still only has got 2 toughness now. Ever since they nerfed it down from 3 to 2, that means my little guy can trade away with it, and my big guy can actually trade with his guy as well. So these are both good trades, which I'll absolutely make. And now I hope he can't mind control my Gruul, because if he does, I lose. I'm not sure how wise it is to play something that just makes me lose against mind control, but I'm doing it. I'm taking the risk. I don't think I could afford to not take the risk. Shadow Madness, my 1-1. I would have taken the 5-1 if I were him, but he's just being a bit, I don't know, silly funny. I don't know what you want to call it. His guy's pretty big. I got a few choices. Well, I don't really have choices here. I'm obviously playing this. I'm obviously playing this. I'm obviously doing this. The only question is, do I trade with his Venture Bro Mercenary, or do I just start going to the face? If I don't, then he kills my guy, which kills my other guy, so I'm gonna have to say yes. My kind of downside here is I've put myself in a bit of a rough spot where if he can. Oh no, never mind. I was worried that if he killed my Abomination, it would also kill my Gruul, but now my Gruul's got 3 health, so it survives a lot of things. Not sure what I'll kill this 6-12. Is it about to be a 12-12? That's just a 6-12. That's pretty beefy. Might just ignore it, to be honest. Start going in the face. I could kill it and hit it with my weapon. That might be what I do. Oh no, but then I lose my Gruul. I don't want to lose my Gruul. He's awesome. I think I just go to the face here. Yeah, I'm doing it. Leopard Gnome, minion. My minions are moving around all on their own. Actually, you know what? I've got so many. I got so many 2 toughness guys that I couldn't afford for him to kill my own this guy Abomination. It would have screwed me over if he had killed it because it wipes my board. I can't afford for it to die. I probably shouldn't have even played it. It's kind of sketchy. Guess it's gonna die. There's not much I can do to stop it. I think I just bite the bullet now. The kind of thing is though that Since I am planning on it dying, I may just be greedy and send everything to face here. Because if I'm wiping my own board, and it's going to get his too, I just do that. There are some cards he could have drawn that would make that a very bad play, but since it's only one card, I'm assuming that this is going to end up happening. That just kills everything. Not in a very good spot here, actually. You could easily argue that he's winning. We're both in top deck mode, but he's ahead of me. Cult Master is not a terrible draw, but obviously he's just going to whack into it. That doesn't mean I'm not going to play it. Got to start getting board control. The good news is my hero power is a bit better at trying to keep board control than his, but he's slowly getting further away from the kill range. So that's an obvious play for him. Good card advantage. And a Holy Nova. So we're back in both being in top deck mode. But he's first. He's got but he didn't play his card. Well, that's a good top deck. Normally you want to pop the Divine Shield against a minion, but that's a 4 attack guy, so we can't use either of his removal spells on it. So Value Yeti. If he doesn't kill my 1/1, then I'm just probably gonna trade with the Value Yeti. Shadow Word Pains my 1/1 just so I can't trade away with his Value Yeti. Not bad. I'm not gonna run my guy into his Value Yeti. There's no real reason to. I'm gonna go for the face. Keep summoning dudes. The good news is, so I mentioned this about cards before, my opponent's got fewer cards, so he's gonna run out of gas faster than I am. But I don't think that'll happen. We're both at such low health that this game should end before he runs out of cards. Oh, that's a good play for him. Now he just can attack me straight to the face. Oh, no, that was a mistake on his part. He should have just gone aggressive and to the face. So I can silence this guy, but there's no real point. I really have to run in here anyway. Yeah, I'm doing it. Just running in. The silence is thing. There's no real point. So now he can be aggressive, be defensive. I've got a board. My board's pretty good. What's he got? Restore 3 health. That's not a bad card. It trades with one of my bigger guys. I'm not going to trade with him. I'm going to keep being aggressive. One of the reasons why is this is a 4/3. Even if he's Shattered Sun Cleric's his guy, I've still got one more power if he gives a +1, whatever. Yeah, that's a nice draw. The wolf. I could just trade here now. The wolf might actually make me do the trade. Let me think for a second. Make sure I don't have lethal first of all. I don't have lethal. And if I don't trade with him, he can just trade with my wolf, which I don't really want to happen. So I might just trade with him to keep my wolf alive. And I placed my my wolf such that it would buff my other guy up after I did the trade too. Maybe I shouldn't have. It's hard to say, but I do like this whole wolf guy. Ah, frick. Oh no, that's one good reason why I wouldn't have wanted to do that. The good news is my opponent literally has 2 cards, and I've got more than 2 cards. Your magic shall not save you. Down to the wire. He needs to have a good card left to really affect the game. There aren't a lot of cards that could. That's not quite enough, because I can just trade away with that guy. I kind of get to choose how I trade is the partial good news, but I'd almost rather go for the damage. I got a Light's Justice of all things. So the thing is, if I don't attack him, he can attack my 2 toughness guy and get a slightly better trade out of stuff, but I'm just going to the face here. That's a hilarious last draw. We'll see what he does. He's out of cards. I've got 3 cards left. I should be able to finish this one off in time. I think I've got this one. My final cards appear to be pretty weak. I am gonna trade away with his guys. Just mainly because they're really favorable trades. And he's out of cards. It did happen. I didn't think it would. But he just ran out of cards. So I managed to eke the win out, but just barely, up to 7. That was good. It would have kind of sucked to lose 3 raid in a row. That's not how you want your arena runs to end, just like that. I would say 7's pretty close to my average wins. 5 is my most common number, but my average is more like 7. It's very, very rare that I get fewer than 5. But despite that, I get 5 a lot. It's kind of weird. It's a weird curve. Kind of trails off on the right-hand end. Well, I've been in this position before, and I still like the Bloodsail Raider, and I still don't like the other cards. I got a 1-drop. I think this will be the millionth time I've said this. It's always awkward playing your 2-1 and the mage will just kill, but you do it anyways. Just because it prevents, if the mage kills it, then he doesn't play a minion instead. If I could look at his hand and see that he didn't have a turn 2 play, then I probably wouldn't play the Murloc, because then if his turn 2 play is just fireballing you and doing 1 damage to you, I'd probably rather have the Murloc in hand to play later. But I mean, realistically, it's not going to do a whole lot later. Even in that scenario, saving the 1 damage to you is almost as much value as you're going to get out of it. I mean, I do have a Questing Adventurer in the deck, so if I save the Murloc, he can help buff that guy up. That's about it. I got no other reason to want to save my stuff. I suppose I can always just coin out the Bloodsail Raider. I might do that instead, actually. Because playing a Murloc Raider against a mage kind of sucks. And I also have another turn 2 play. I can play the Novice Engineer follow-up, which isn't the best follow-up, but I think it's better than just dropping the Murloc Raider. What's he got? He's a thinker. I'm gonna break his staff. Ha 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 ha. I smash your window. So yeah, if I drew another good turn 2 play, like I think I've got one of the guys that gives Divine Shield in the deck, that'd be good. What I really want is to draw Raitier, a card better than Novice Engineer. That'd be really nice. Yeah, my opponent may just be AFK or not joined. This is sad. I don't like this. I mean, obviously everyone likes winning, but my time is more valuable. Oh, he did show up. My time is more valuable to me than an arena run. I don't have any fun when that happens. I'm here to have fun, so I'm spending this time. But if he just does nothing, then I don't have any fun. Thank you. So it looks like his turn 2 play is just going to be a fireball. So I am pretty glad I didn't just drop the Murloc out to get owned. Good decision making there. I would have liked to have drawn a better follow-up play than the Novice Engineer, but like this guy, if I had him instead, that would have been really good. He was just a card too far away. The good news is he's still good to draw because now I can play him and the Murloc Raider on my next turn. Oh, and he's still fireballing me. And now that I've already got a 2-1 out, it's like I don't even care that I'm playing a 2-1 because he had a 2-1 to fireball anyways. You can't fireball them both. I assume he's got a real play by now. It was something like a Yeti or the Drake. He hasn't played a card yet, so the Drake would be like really big. Water Elemental, respectable. I do have a silence for it, which will help a bit. I also have a Sword of Justice, but there's no real reason to play that quite yet. There's no reason to run 3 of my guys and his water elemental, that'd be kind of pointless, I think. I'm just gonna go to the face, get some good damage in, put the pressure on. That guy's kind of annoying, not gonna lie. I might play the Sword of Justice and use one attack on it just to trade with it better. That's probably what I'm gonna do here. So I want to get rid of it as efficiently as I can. I still want to be able to attack, putting more pressure on. I'm going to attack with my hero first because he gets enraged after attack, and I don't want him to do more damage to my hero. Trade with the lousier guy. The leper gnome is a strictly better play than the hero recruit, but it'll save my leper play gnome for later. Yeah, I don't know about that one. I'm making a worse play in exchange for saving the gnome for a future turn. And I'm not gonna trade with his. Well, maybe I will, just because I don't want to knock out my stupid gnome. Yeah, screw it. I don't want to give him my gnome for free. I'm keeping my gnome. My gnome is worth it to me. Not my gnome. Phew, didn't get my gnome. I was saving this gnome. Well, this guy will get buffed up, which means I can run him into the other guy. The gnome is gonna trade with that guy. Then I don't know, things are going kind of okay, I guess. Not great. It's a pretty close game. Let's see, my opponent's got 6 cards. Oh, he's got his own dude, a Maluger. Kind of sucks that my weapon only does 1 damage. Can't trade with his dude. This guy's a pretty good use of the last charge of my... Well, no, not really, because he can fireball it. Yeah, whatever. I don't want to play this guy because I just played the Abomination, whose Death Rattle does 2 damage to all guys. I think my opponent's got a slight edge on me here in establishing his board. We'll see. He is going to hero power off my dude. Yeah, my opponent's head and board. That's a good Drake. 6 toughness. At least I'm playing Stormwind Champion. That's how much attack the Stormwind Champion has. Options. Stormwind Champion Leper Gnome. Probably the play here. I don't think anything else really compares. No, definitely Stormwind Champion and Leper Gnome. I hope that he can't do something to kill my Stormwind Champion. I really want to keep it on the board. Obviously, pretty much anything from him can kill it. It's not hard. A polymorph, that's the thing. I've worked myself into a pretty bad card disadvantage here. Hope he doesn't kill the sheep. Don't kill the sheep. At least he keeps my sheep alive. That's nice of him. Can be a super sheep. Alright. So here, I got 8 mana. I'll just play the 3 creatures in my hand. Play the... I don't even know. No? I'm gonna play the Direwolf. Then I'm gonna play the Defender of Argus. That's kind of somewhat bad. Then I'm gonna run in his guy. I'm gonna shield my wolf. That's kind of confusing. I'm sometimes bad at this whole minion placement thing. I might have done that stupid in the wrong order. But I don't know. It seems like it's okay. I gave my wolf Divine Shield. He's probably who I wanted to shield. I think that was right. That Drake's kicking my butt. I did get him down to 13. So if I can get a bit more damage out, I could close this one out, but I don't think I'll be able to squeak that damage through. I think I'm beat down here, as the saying goes. Who's the beat down? Alright, let me think. So I think I have to trade with this guy, keeps my guy alive. Then I play the true silver, and I run straight into the guy I can actually kill. If I buff this guy up to 5, he can survive this and the hero power, which sounds really good. I already attacked. I don't want to attack the Divine Shield guy. Did I have lethal there? No, I didn't have lethal. I have one off of lethal. I should have checked first, though. I kind of did a quick check and didn't think I had it. Obviously, I could have done 4 more by attacking his hero instead of attacking his minion. So the Arcane Missiles takes my guy down into trading range. He's still dead unless he's got something extra, though. I can do 6 damage. I can do 6 damage. Phew, skin of my teeth. This is my responsibility for justice. Barely eked that win out. That was a close one. I didn't think I was going to win that after I kind of lost. You can see just what's on the board. He was definitely in control of that one. That's what I mean. It's something from the card game Magic the Gathering. Who's the beatdown? The beatdown is the person that needs to win in the short term, or else they'll lose in the long term, essentially. And at that position, I was essentially out of resources. I had to be able to use the board and the cards I had and translate those into enough damage to finish them off. It didn't matter what I had left in hand, didn't matter anything. I was just going, I had to finish that one. That's all that mattered. Because if I didn't finish it, I was going to lose. I was the beatdown. The mirror match. This is actually a really good opening hand. I don't think I've seen this one yet in my run. The Leper Gnome and the Argent Protector. We're going to drop the Abomination. Hopefully get the 3-2 taunt or something like that instead. Pretty close. Pretty close to the exact 3 cards I like to see in my opening hand. Good 1 drop, good 2 drop, good 3 drop. That's what you want to see. Now I want him to play like a Leper Gnome. That would make me happy because I can Argent Protector trade with it. Or if he coined into a 3-2, that would be awesome. I would laugh and laugh and laugh. And almost certainly win the game. Well, sometimes I overestimate or exaggerate the importance of these turn 1, turn 2 plays, but I'm pretty happy with the start. Unless he's got like board sweepers or really good early plays, I anticipate that I'll take early board control and hopefully hold on to it the whole game and just dominate him. That's kind of what early board control lets you do. It just lets you keep trading favorably, and you're just in control the whole game. And it looks like a really one-sided game just because you got control and never let go. That's what I'm kind of hoping happens. I actually drew the other turn 3 cards that I wanted, the Ironford Grizzly. I like them slightly more than the Torn Warrior. They're obviously very similar. 2-3 taunt versus 3-3 taunt, but the 2-2's got an enrage. I don't even think I'm gonna trade with his 1-1. He could Coin's Blessing of Kings it. I guess that'd be bad. I don't want him to do that, so I guess I will trade with it. If I didn't have a taunt guy, I almost certainly would have. But since I had a taunt guy, I was like, he's just gonna have to run into the taunt guy. But if he's got something tricky, then I don't want him to be tricky. Paladins are kind of a tricky class. True Silver Champion, that's a good way. That's one of the best cards. I said when I was picking my cards, it's a fantastic card because it lets you get back control of the board in the mid game if you lose it early game. Exactly situations like this are where it's really useful, and why it's just a really good card. I could play the Tauren Warrior for 1 more power. I'm going to be a bit greedy. Or that's not even 1 more power. I take it all back. I'm definitely happy with this play. And the Wolf. I'm happy with the Wolf because I can play it right now and get some extra power out. He's probably just going to True Silver Champion it, but still, if he's, I don't know, a consecrate, he really needs to consecrate. That would kind of bow me. He doesn't look like he has, or else I think he would have played it though. Come on, hit me, hit me, hit me. The Divine Shield, I don't like that, but what can you do? I can still do some pretty favorable trades here. Let's see. I guess I may as well sacrifice the Leper Gnome instead of the other two ones. They're pretty similar though. But the Leper Gnome goes down. This guy doesn't even die. Still maintaining board control. Just trading with this stuff as favorably as I can. One bad thing though is I've got no good turn 6 play. But hopefully I draw something that costs less than 7. If I drew a War Golem here, that would really suck. That'd be like the only thing I really don't want to see. It's my other 7 drop the War Golem. I think that's the only 7+ card I have other than the 2 I've got sticking in my hand. This card, obviously not exactly really what I wanted, but hey. So here I've got a choice of trading with his board. I think I will, mainly just because my creature's enraged. So I'll run this guy in. Now my guy's enraged, and then I can finish him off. Similarly, I can afford to finish this guy off. I'm not going to bother trading with the 1/1 though. He can survive. Actually, no, that was terrible. I should have, because he's going to kill my 5/1. That was a dumb play. I don't know what I was thinking. I was stupid. There was absolutely no reason to do what I did, other than because I'm an idiot. Oh well. Now I get to trade with the 5/1 instead of a 2/1. I did 2 more damage to him that turn, but lost a good creature. I don't have lethal, so I'm just going to trade. I'm in pretty good shape. You got the True Silver Champion in hand for some direct damage. Restoring 6 health to your heroes, not going to do much. So what, 13, 9? Yeah, I've got lethal. Lethal and spare. I'll use both of the things I've got just for fun. So yeah, I pretty much just stayed in control of that game. I was in the driver's seat. As you can see, he ended with 5 cards and I ended with 1. That's how I like games to end. It's like me with board control, my opponent with cards in hand, but he just never got to play them. So 9 wins, pretty good. Maybe stop here, maybe do one more right now. No, I'm just going to stop here.